Welcome back to the Tide Hanger. This is Mike, and today I want to talk to you about G.I. Joe Classified. And I'm going to be asking a question that's probably going to bother people, offend people, and then I like asking those kinds of questions. So, is the classified line doomed? Now, I've watched a lot of videos recently about people crashing out over Lenny leaving. Probably 15 videos, just for fun in the background while I'm working, and a few surprised me because they were more or less, good thing he's gone. I'm glad he's gone, kind of stuff. But today I want to talk to you about some of the missteps that they've had, and then what we see going forward. But everyone talking about the whole Lenny, they're not talking about one other person that's no longer with this toy line, but there's been a lot of missteps, and each misstep along the way that we see sees more people quitting. And so I'm going to get into all that. I'm going to explain what I have seen, because I've been here since day one. I've been here since before day one, not wanting to get in on it, and I'll talk about this and more coming up. Okay, so first off, starting at the beginning, I was not excited for G.I. Joe Classified because they looked like Fortnite designed figures. They were based off of the video game, which I kind of showed that picture. It's art for the video game, I believe. So that in itself, I was like, I don't want this too super high-techy modern version. I did enjoy both the movies. I didn't think they were the greatest movies in the world, and I don't believe there's a third movie in G.I. Joe, just the two. And they're okay. I watched each one of them like 6 times, and that's how I could say a movie's okay. If I've watched it more than once and still enjoyed it, then it's okay. It's not exactly what I would want. I want kind of a reimagining of Real American Hero, and yeah, add a few modern elements and stuff, and the same thing with the figures. Not everybody. Some people like the Fortnite look, and that's just the way it is. That wasn't good for me. A lot of people didn't even get in the beginning because they didn't like this and missed out on the 00 Snake Eyes. And the same thing with the 00 Snake Eyes. I passed on it because I'm like $40 for pretty much the same exact thing that you're getting for 20 on the shelf. And I don't even care. A friend of mine offered me a 00 Snake Eyes for 90, and I said, no, I just don't care. I don't care. It's nice. I mean, I give you the 40 that it's worth, that it originally priced at. But still, I mean, they juiced us from the beginning on this line. Then there was this Regal Cobra Commander, and there was a lot of confusion about what the Regal one was versus the regular one, and Regal's supposed to be a lighter blue. Nobody really knew. Somehow I ordered one from wherever you're supposed to order from. I don't know. I ordered it. I got it. I was happy with it, but not really. I did not like this design of Cobra Commander. I wanted a classic Cobra Commander. And then, of course, the fact that the first one came out in the color scheme of the hood of Cobra Commander, but you don't get a hood for it for absolutely no reason whatsoever. There never really was a reason. No one ever gave us a reason. If you don't give us a reason, then there is no reason. No reason that we can't have the Executioner hood at all. And personally, I don't really care. I just wanted a classic Cobra Commander, and I got it. I actually got it from Super 7, and I sold my Regal one off because I had to pay for the Super 7 one. A lot of people were crashing out about that too. I want to say that each one of these steps of the way, there was the giant diva fits of leaving the dissertations of why I'm no longer going to collect classified every step of the way. And then we get to this Beachhead was selling for $140 on eBay for a while because he was a Cobra Island exclusive to Target. Very hard to get. Now, I will be honest. Other than the Viper, I didn't really have trouble getting the rest of these at retail. So for me, it wasn't a huge deal, but I did understand the rest of the people that were really getting upset about it because I never, to this day, I've never seen a Viper on the shelf until they brought out the retro version. And yeah, so the Viper, we'll talk about the Viper here in a bit, but Beachhead had two different eye colors too, which made it even harder. And people really wanted both eye colors. Blue eye and brown eye, I guess. I don't know. Alright, so the Cobra Island Viper was another one. This, I pretty much almost quit. I was at my computer at the exact time to pre-order it, and it sold out while I was checking out in like 30 seconds. Then they redid it a year or two later at Yo Joe June. I got one because my wife got it on her phone. She ordered it through the Target, and I was on my computer ordering it, and I still couldn't get it. She got me one, but I went ahead and bought my friend's collection for $1,000, and I kept his 6 Vipers and 6 Cobra uh, Troopers, and I sold the rest. It took me a year and a half to sell the rest of it off to break even. But, it's one of those things. That's how I had to do it. I refused to pay $50, $60, $70 each on eBay for this thing. And it still goes for this particular one, goes for as much, if not more, than the 3-pack. Then they come out with the 3-pack. Now, the problem is the 3-pack doesn't solve the problem of it's numbered. They numbered every one of these bad boys. And so now you can get 3-pack for like $56 or something. I'm sure if at the right time and the right person, you can get a 3-pack for like 30, I bet. But nobody really seems to care about these. It seemed like nobody cared about this at all. They just wanted the standard Viper and not all this variation Vipers and stuff. And I paid the 90 like an idiot. Why was it 90? Three $20 figures add up to 90? 20 plus 20 is 40 plus 20 is 90. Oh. Okay, well that's new math. You want to know why it's going on sale for $56? Because ideally, it should have been $60, and then you save because you're only having one packaging. Even though it's bigger, you're only packaging them in one box. Knock $5 off for the packaging savings. 55, 56 is about the price it should have been at retail, not the gouging 90. Now we're going to look at the Baroness here. She was another Target exclusive, sold out really fast. I did get my hands on one, and I've never opened it. And then later on at Yojo June or whatever, I was able to get a second one. Still never opened it just because they were just so expensive. It was just so hard to acquire her. She is the superior version because of her shininess that she has going on. Now they did put her back out on a retro card and all that. By then I got Super 7s, and aside from this has a much better female form than Super 7s. Overall look, I do like Super 7s better because it's more classic. But, I mean, we're mixing... It's not apples and oranges, it's more like apples and pears. Next up is the SDCC. This is another one. I was right there trying to order it. I actually got the time wrong, so I blame myself. I blame myself for not being there the fraction of a millisecond that you're supposed to order it. And so, yeah, I blame myself. And then I heard it went in and out of stock, went in and out of stock. I don't really remember how it happened. I know that I was in front of my computer waiting for it, and then I know I left, and people said it went back up and went back down. Well, I can't sit in front of my computer for 8 hours straight, refreshing every 5 minutes just to see. So anyway, I missed out on this. I did my own custom. It was my mascot. It was a joke that I had for a long time, but I mean, this made me want to quit also. Like, it really, like, I took a perfectly good first version Zartan out of the package and painted it myself. And I don't think I did that great of a job, but anyway, it doesn't matter. It's my mascot. It is in my display, by the way. But a UK viewer said he was getting out of classified, and he had one, and they were abundant over in the UK, and he donated his to me, which was amazing. Like, it's the only thing that's been donated to the channel. I don't ask for anyone to send anything in, donate anything. I don't ask for that. I don't have anything set up for any of that. But this worked out really well, and I was thankful for it. I keep it sealed, and I'm going to keep it forever. So many people quit over the Zartan, but I think more did over Serpentor. The thing about the Zartan was it sucks, but even like myself, I was willing to live with my poorly painted mascot forever because it was an option. You had something else. And then they came out with the Walmart one, which that was messed up too. But Serpentor, there's no other option. Now, there's going to be another one coming soon. We have no idea what the bare-chested one's going to look like, or what color. Is he going to have a yellow cape, black cape? I mean, nobody knows anything. Really, it's all just hype. But this thing is now going for... I saw one on eBay for like $4.19. I didn't look at what the lowest ones were. I was just looking... Well, I wasn't even trying to look, but... Someone's got one for $419. It's crazy. But I was there. I did get this one. I was able to get my order, and I was there at the right, like the first 30 seconds, got it. But, I mean, it's like an achievement. It's like a major achievement. And maybe they went back in stock. I didn't have to check back. I got mine. I was happy. But most people weren't. Now, I do let me put this out there. Who's paying $300 and $400 for this? That's the newer collectors that didn't get burned. I think a lot of people that were sitting there and ordered it, tried to order it and couldn't, aren't willing to pay that because they feel burned. But the people that are like, okay, well, I wasn't collecting at the time and I missed out because I wasn't collecting, got to pay the late tax on it. And then those are the ones that are accepting of it. But if you got burned, if you were screwed over by Hasbro and you were doing what you were supposed to do to order it, it's really hard to pay the secondary market of $300 to $400. Snow Job is another one that, like, I'm gonna admit I'm counting on a retro one coming, but they haven't announced it yet. This one was over $100. Now it's looking like $150. It's crazy. It is crazy what Snow Job's going for. Let them do a retro one, and the price will just fall like concrete in the ocean to the bottom, down to normal levels. It was $35. This ushered in, well, there were some other ones too, but a $35 price point, higher price point, gouging you on a figure that the Snow Serpent was a better example, because Snow Serpent, although was still pretty easy to get, they made it retro, $25. So they could make that size figure and all the accessories $25. Maybe they left a few accessories out, but I really am looking forward to this guy in retro. So the example here, eel. The eel, I'm eel for eels. This thing, I don't even know what happened. Like it's like it never was up for order, because I was where I was supposed to be doing what I'm supposed to do, and I never saw it. And so that's one of those weird things. Like, it felt like it never was up for order. And also, this is the dark time, the dark era where you had the closed packages. Another thing they did, another negative, we couldn't see our own figures. Now, a lot of people that are mint and box collectors, and I'm about 90% for modern mint and box collector, so I've got one of these, but you can't see in the package. You can't see your figure. Now I got the retro you can see in the figure in the package. But I don't remember how I ended up getting one. I ended up getting one, though. I lucked out somehow. And that's a funny thing. When you're collecting classified, you feel like you luck out when you actually get it for retail price. Then there's the Vamp. And this one was, I don't think people realized how popular it was going to be. But it was an exclusive. Then when it sold out, it never came back in stock. And now they're selling for $250 to $400. I don't know. This listing asks like $412. Insane. But I don't really care for the Vamp, so I'm not heartbroken. They put Clutch back out in, I guess, more cartoony colors, but why not put this back out and reissue it? It's not a HasLab. They can reissue it. Crystal Ball is one of the lamest finished figures, but then they made him with all this stuff, and they made him look cool. He looks cool. This figure was really hard to get, and this is one of those weird things where people were mad they couldn't get it. Their orders were getting canceled on the Walmart, and like people were freaking out. And kind of just like the divers, exactly like the divers. And now the divers are showing up on clearance. Well, I'll show you that in a second. But this figure here, I found for $15 at Walmart. Like, we didn't have any, and then all of a sudden it's on the clearance for $15. Just go straight to clearance. So check your clearance. Well, it's probably too late for that. People were flipping out about this diver team is a Target exclusive, and there were very few, I think 8 or 9 on Hasbro Pulse. and about 12 went to BBTS, and then 4 million went to Target. But anyway, they're marked half price, $27.49, and they'll go to $70, so which will be what, around like $18. And then they'll be at $70 for like a day. And then they'll do what they call salvage it out, which means it goes to Ross and Ollie's. So then Ross and Ollie's is going to say, okay, the price, competitor's price is $17. They should be saying they're selling it for $10 or $12. But though Ross raised their prices too, Ross wants top dollar now. Remember when they revealed Major Blood on eBay as an auction that went for like 15 or 25,000 or some, I don't even know. I could go through my old videos, I guess, but I don't remember the exact number. 22,000, some stupid number. Nobody really paid that. That was just ridiculous. But the only reveal we had was this one, and it was the only one, and people were weirded out by it. And guess what? They've reissued it. Of course, it's come down from 22,000 down to you can get one for 30 or 40 bucks now, instead of this guy was going for 50 to $100, even when they put it out at Target. But the thing is, they put the same looking figure out. People say, okay, the arms are skinnier, the legs are skinnier, he's a much scrawnier figure, and he's so much better now, the new version. I don't see the difference. I don't care. Where's the retro styled one? Guess what? Super 7 gave me the retro styled one. Once a Man, Cobra Commander. This was another one that was really frustrating people. It was hard to get, really hard to get on there. I finally got I reached my tipping point. Well, 8 times with this line. The first one was I didn't want to start, so 7 times with this line. The Viper was one of the worst. This was one of the worst. It was so hard to get. I finally got it the following day, but I had already made up in my mind that I liked O-rings more, so I finished my O-ring line and bought a whole lot less of this. I was doing 3 of each that I could get my hands on of classified, and I cut that out starting with this figure. I was like, I'm done. I'll still pick and choose a few here and there. And I did get this one. And it's an amazing figure, an amazing idea. But, and this is better. Like, you have more stuff with this than you get with the Super 7 O-ring one. But the O-ring one, I like it more for the fact that it's in the scale and stuff that I'm liking a lot more than what was going on here. Then we got Destro's the spoiler, the $110 spoiler that I canceled my order on, and I probably just will never. At this point, I think I'm just not going to get it. Not even going to bother. I'm not going to worry about it. I almost don't want it anymore. The negative publicity and bad press around the ridiculous price, and yeah, I just kind of don't even want it anymore. I just kind of want the figure only on a retro card, maybe. But yeah, I kind of don't want this anymore. So the Demon's awesome. So if the Demon's a HasLab, well, I'm kind of slowing down on HasLabs anyway. But yeah, I wouldn't get that or this. Me personally, that's just me personally. A lot of people are kind of like they can't take this price, the ridiculousness of the pricing. Now Lenny's leaving, and I guess leaving it up to BMAC, and so there's someone else leaving that's already left that a few people have talked about him, actually. So I want to say this, Lenny's probably seeing the end of this coming eventually. Not at least 2 more years. It's going to go strong, probably fizzle a little bit after that, but let's kind of get into some other factors. All right, so I really didn't want to do this, but look at all the stuff that's on BBTS. I don't think it is Joel's goal. Is that who's at BBTS? Joel? I don't think it's his goal to have every single G.I. Joe classified figure ever made in stock for a good 10 years. I think the goal of all retailers is to get the product, offer it for a reasonable amount of time, and sell it at full price. But then, of course, that's not what's happening with this line. So, all right, let's get into the next page here. There are 2, 4, 6 pages full of figures that are either not sold out or not sold out and on clearance. And it's one of those things that to see this, it's kind of insane. I'm not used to that. BBTS having this much, and they have a lot of He-Man stuff in stock too, and I will put that out there. But I'm used to this stuff selling out and being hard to get, and now it's not. Why? Well, so many people have dropped off. With every one of these things they've done to collectors jump ship. They quit, and they throw a diva fit on the way out. I think it's kind of fun. I don't know if it's so much fun as it's you're getting it all off your shoulders. But I've seen this. I've seen a lot of people voicing their frustrations on the way out the door. And that's part of why the line's doomed. So many. It's not like they made 1 or 2 mistakes. I think if you really analyze everything and not just the things that meant something to me, 20 or 30 serious mistakes along the line. Is it Lenny's fault? I don't know. I don't know. Is it marketing's fault? Maybe. Did they underproduce for false scarcity? I don't know. So, I mean, there's a lot of factors to look at when you look at this, but it's a lot of crap still sitting on BBTS's site right now. The next doom factor is that they've already made a lot of the biggest hitters. So many collectors are telling me that I only want these 5 characters and I'm done. And I think they know it. You know, it's one of those things that Hasbro, we only need a couple in this picture. Hasbro doesn't want to make G.I. Joe. I don't know why. It's so weird. I mean, they sourced it out to Super 7 for the O-ring, which they should have kept that in-house. I think we pretty much have this. Don't we have all of this already? I think this 83's sewn up. 84 is pretty much there too, right? Pretty close. Pretty close. And then 85. We have most of 85 already. There's not much left in 85 that I'm looking for. The only thing here that we need is probably a Listen and Fun tripwire. But yeah, they're sourcing out their production. It's like they don't even want to make O-rings. They don't really want to make Joe. And that's always been a kind of a thing with them. They don't really want to make Joe. But like you were looking at the core years that have a following. And almost everything has been made in here. And it's almost like, you know, like I'm not crashing out over Lenny leaving. I just reported the news. But it's like he's wiping his hands. He's like, the good work has been done. Like he knows it. He knows the good work's done. And just like Crazy Legs doesn't have a numbered release, and collectors that give a crap about that. I'm now missing like 60 or 70 numbers. I have 80. I don't care. I don't care. I prefer the retro myself in my style of collecting. Well, we got most of this. I mean, we don't have Battle Force 2000 yet, but we're in 87. 88 start to drop off a little bit, right? Like we don't have a Blizzard, we don't have the Laser Viper Trooper, whatever. So, but we're getting some of this stuff. We're getting closer. We could go through, you know, item by item what's missing. That's not what this video is about. And then as we get to, what is this one? 80. I cut it off. 89. 89 will probably get done and have enough support to do 89. And I mean, we're not too far off from that. I really think that some of the figures here are kind of fun, and we're over the 80% mark on completing this one. And then 90. This is where it's all going to fall apart. Like if they made every one of these, a lot of them are getting up at Ross. Or, you know, BBTS's clearance 3 years later if they want to hold on to them for 3 years. I just don't see all of... They've made a few of these already, and they didn't sell well, even though they're great. The Night Creeper, I had the Night Creeper as a kid. An awesome figure. I love it, but not really a lot of support. You know, the Deke era. But get into my last point. Before I do that, every single time I make a G.I. Joe Classified video, BBTS has an even bigger sell on the Super 7 Ultimates. You can look at all of the Super 7 Ultimates. There's like 10 pages of them. But here's Joe's listed from lowest to highest in price. Yes, I got... so here's what I did. I canceled all the bats I ordered, and I reordered all those bats at $11. Mine doesn't ship for a while. Well, it's about to ship soon. Then I ordered a couple more of the Storm Shadows, and then whatever was on my son's list. So that is kind of cool, kind of fun. I might buy more Cobra Troopers when they get down to 11. And there's still more stuff. So you want to check that out yourself. But what is the biggest thing most people are talking about, a few people have, is where is Emily? Okay, let's break this down a little bit. Where exactly is Emily? I don't know. I haven't seen or heard from her since... the last time I remember seeing her was when some dude got fired, and he was laid off, and he was supposed to show up with the stuff at some sort of event, and she was like, well, the guy got laid off, or the guy who doesn't work here anymore, had the prototypes, so we are having an issue. And that was kind of funny and comical, but I haven't seen her. So she was on the Lightning, Power Rangers Lightning Collection line, and 6 months, 5 or 6 months before that ended, she got out of that line and went to another, like Joe, I think is when she went to Joe. And then they ended that line. She was already gone. And here she is dipping out of this line. Good. She's been gone for a few months, several months. Several of these videos have gone on without her. And I've noticed that. And so where is she? And why did she leave the Joe team? Even before Lenny left, the writing's on the wall. The entire future of the entire line is riding on Zartan and how well Ninja Force Zartan does. Just kidding. I didn't want this video to go this long, so I'm not going to get into how they numbered the HasLabs, which that's a jerk move, and a lot of other things they've done, because the video is already long enough. And I think I've made my point. Is this line doomed going forward? We're going to see it. Have you ever seen like a fish flopping around as it's dying on dry land? I think that's what we're going to see going forward. Anyway, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. Like, subscribe. Ted Deermaker out.